Hello everyone, Luciano Oliveira, Oliveira Lawyers. I am a US attorney and today I'm here in beautiful sunny Lisbon, Portugal, and we're going to be talking about how the Portugal Digital Nomad Visa compares to the Brazil Digital Nomad Visa. Don't forget to watch our full review of the Portuguese Digital Nomad Visa. You're going to find a link to this video down in the description below. So why are we comparing Brazil to Portugal? Well, to start with, Brazil, as you probably know, it was colonized by Portugal. Both countries have Portuguese as their official language, and there are other similarities, particularly in culture, of course. Another reason to compare these two countries is because their digital nomad visas rank really high in the global scale. All right, let's start with how much you need to qualify. For Brazil, you need $1,500, while for Portugal, you're gonna need over 3,200 euros. From this perspective, Brazil is certainly more competitive because you need much less money to qualify. Interesting to note, Brazil offers a second route, which is the $18,000. With $18,000, you don't need to make any money per month because you're just proving that you have the $18,000 in a bank account. However, don't forget, for both visas, even if you qualify for the financial amount, you still need to be working and you're gonna need to prove with paperwork that you are actively working as a digital nomad. Second perspective, access to different geographical locations. So this is gonna be probably a tie because Brazil, as you probably know, has continental dimensions. Portugal, on the other side, is gonna give you access to the 27 countries part of the European Union. So both countries are going to give you access to so many different locations. Interesting to note that even though Portugal gives you access to 27 countries, Portugal included, Brazil is still bigger than the Western Europe. Another perspective, integration into society. Portugal makes it slightly easier because in Portugal it's much more common for people to speak English than it is in Brazil. However, on the other side, in Brazil, people are slightly more receptive. Don't take me wrong, Portuguese people are still pretty friendly, but they are a little bit more conservative than Brazilians. And therefore, on this topic, I think that Brazil is slightly ahead of Portugal. It is easier for you to integrate into the Brazilian society than it is for you to integrate into the Portuguese society. Now let's talk about safety. I think I don't need to explore this topic much more because Portugal is clearly ahead of Brazil on this front. Portugal is recognized as one of the safest countries in the entire globe. Even though Brazil is not as bad as many people try to make it look like, Brazil is of course not nearly comparable to Portugal when it comes to safety. Brazil is still a developing country, and with the development, it comes with all the challenges that these countries usually face. Let's not hide the truth. Brazil is not nearly as safe as Portugal. So on this front, Portugal has a clear advantage. Now let's think about technology. Brazil has been a major player in the startup scenes, and there is a lot of technology in São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and many other large cities in Brazil. However, Portugal, for being a smaller country, makes it easier for companies to spread out really high-level technology across the board. And therefore, if you need to rely on high-speed internet, Portugal may be a better choice for you because, again, you're gonna find this high-speed internet. It does not matter where you are. Now, remember that nowadays there are technologies such as the Starlink that are gonna allow you to get access to high-speed internet even if you are, let's say, in the countryside of Brazil, in the north, Amazon, or in the northeast. Another perspective, cost of living. Interesting enough, both countries represent a very low cost of living when compared to other countries such as the United States and the United Kingdom. Portugal is probably one of the cheapest countries when it comes to Western Europe. Brazil is also very affordable for people coming from the northern countries. Just to give you a couple of examples, I'm here in Lisbon and today I had a breakfast Here it's called pequeno almoço or a little lunch. I paid less than $3 for a really nice breakfast. This nice breakfast included the espresso, milk, juice, pastel de nata, and a sandwich. I guarantee for $3 in the United States, for instance, you could not have even McDonald's, which for me, it's a no-go. In Brazil, $3 if you are in a capital such as Rio de Janeiro or São Paulo would probably not allow you to have the same breakfast that I had here in Lisbon. However, if we're talking about northern states in Brazil, such as Ceará, Bahia, Rio Grande do Norte, and others, the cost of living is going to be substantially lower than what you're going to see in the big cities in the south of the country. Now, talking about bureaucracy. Bureaucracy exists in both countries, not surprisingly, because the Brazilian infrastructure, the Brazilian way of governing things, naturally came from the Portuguese. Bureaucracy and red tape, unfortunately, you're gonna find plenty in both countries. However, interesting enough, maybe because of the proximity to other European countries, Portugal has been changing dramatically. Just to give an example, nowadays you can open a company in Portugal on the same day. However, in Brazil, it's still like year 2024, you're gonna take a couple of months to be able to start a company as a foreign citizen. So even though Brazilian bureaucracy came from Portugal, Portugal has changed things and it's doing much better when it comes to bureaucracy and red tape. So what is your opinion on Brazil and Portugal when it comes to the Digital Nomad Visa? Which one do you like the most? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to download our ebook about the 7 most common mistakes when applying for the Digital Nomad Visa in Brazil and Portugal. Find the link below. See you in the next video.